Hi, Geoff. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. You are an expert in investigating the factors that determine success and failure in business and how global leaders are dealing with this bet. So, given the unprecedented risks and opportunities we are facing nowadays, can you share with us your latest observations and thoughts about this topic?
Yeah, there are a few points to make. Of course, it's easy to say that the essence of leadership never changes. You know, it was the same 3,000 years ago as it is today. And to some sense, that's true. But things really have changed. One thing that we've observed is the qualities that a business leader brings are much more human-centered than they used to be. In other words, I can remember when the most valuable qualities that a business leader could have were to be tough. You know, toughness was very highly valued. And they even competed with each other to see who could be the toughest. It's just not that way anymore. We find that more and more the so-called soft skills, empathy, being able to read someone else's mood or thought, these things are more valuable. And people hear that and they say, oh, come on, that's just soft and squishy and sounds good. No, there's research. Companies find that that really distinguishes the best leaders from the rest. That's, I think, because the employees are more valuable than ever, and you have to make sure that they feel confidence and admiration for their leader. So the leaders have to be very human.
Your bestseller, written back in 2009, Talent is Overrated, explains what really separates a world-class professional from everybody else. Almost 15 years later, how much has changed?
In the big picture, nothing has changed. I mean, the book is still in print and people still buy it. And it's because the essence of great performance, world-class great performance, really has not changed. The important message of that book is it's not because you were born with some special talent that just makes you great at something, whether it's playing tennis or leading a company or being a doctor, whatever. You're not born with that. We always think that people are, but that's not the case.
Where is the key?
The key is what the researchers call deliberate practice. And that's not just practice the way most of us do it. It's very structured practice that people do over and over. They have to have feedback, and they have to do high repetitions of whatever it is they're working on. And then they have to try to push themselves just a little higher than where they are now. And if they do that, what we find is the best performers do it every day for years. I'm not saying it's easy. It isn't easy.
They insist.
But we understand how it happens. And it happens with business people, with athletes, with musicians, with everybody.
You very often discuss the intersection of leadership and globalization in the context of business and economics. In what way the after the pandemic effects and recent geopolitical turmoil are influencing the dynamics of globalization?
This is a very interesting issue for leaders today, business leaders in particular, because we have entered a new era where business leaders, CEOs in particular, are now expected to make statements and take positions about events in the outside world. So as you mentioned, we've got some, very unfortunate battles going on in Ukraine and in the Middle East. All sorts of other things come up in politics in any country. We never imagined that CEOs would have to make statements on this, would have to take positions.
Something very new.
It is very new, and it's difficult for them. They can get into trouble because they're going to make somebody mad. And yet, largely because of the employees, they do it because they want their employees to understand that this company has certain principles that it sticks with no matter what.
Yes.
And so that's what CEOs are having to do, and it's not easy.
Geoff, companies around the globe are dealing with extraordinary advances in technology, climate threat, volatile geopolitics, economic headwinds, and unpredictable market conditions. How do we make sure that we don't lose sight of the progress leaders have made recently in embracing a more holistic and empathetic, as you already mentioned, approach to leadership?
Look, it's very difficult to keep a focus on that. The nature of humans is that we are more interested in bad news than good news. That's the way we are hardwired. And in a sense, it's good. That helped us survive. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, being more interested in bad stuff than good stuff kept us alive. We survived. So that's the way we are hardwired. The trouble is, some of the media take advantage of that, and they give us nothing but bad news and threats and danger and stuff like that.
Because danger sells.
It sells. And so I always say there are good reasons to be optimistic, but you have to focus on them because the world is not going to tell you about that. But there are great reasons to be optimistic.
Geoff, thank you so much for this excellent talk.
You are most welcome. Thank you.